and welcome to my channel, The Bookworm Trait. Now, obviously you know why you're here. You're here to see Sims picks my TBR. I did this last month to pick my books and it was really successful, so I am doing it again. Now, if you didn't watch my last video, what I do is I assign every single trait in Sims either a book or a challenge. Now, I didn't have quite enough books to fit all of the traits, so for some of them I have chosen to use a prompt instead of an actual book title. So it might be something like read a book by your favourite author. I will use a random trait generator to pick 3 traits and 1 bonus trait, and from that I will select my TBR. Now obviously I did this last month, so I had to swap out 4 of the books because I got all books last month. I didn't get any challenges. So the traits that needed replacing this month are Goofball. So for that I read And Then He Ate My Boy in Trances, which is one of the books in the Georgia Nicholson series. I have just replaced this with the next book in the series, which is Startled by His Fairy Shorts. The next trait was Music Lover, for which I selected the book A Queen's Poisiner, or The Queen's Poisiner, which was supposed to have lyrical writing. I have replaced this book with a prompt. Now my husband is in a band, he loves music, so he will be picking a book for me if that prompt comes up. Now I will, full disclaimer here guys, let you know that he will not do this on camera, so yeah, just letting you know, it will just be me saying this is the book that he selected. The next prompt that needs replacing is Loves the Outdoors. Now for this I had picked The Sea Witch Rising. I will be replacing it with The Beautiful, and I selected this for Loves the Outdoors because it is set in New Orleans, which is a place I would love to visit, so I love its outdoors. So the next book that I have to replace was not actually on my TBR, but it was a book that I read as part of a buddy read with some of my friends, and that was Serpent and Dove for the prompt Snob. So I will be replacing this with a challenge to read an award-winning book. And the final prompt that needs replacing is the prompt Quick Learner. I was reading Truly Devious for this, but this will now be replaced with Ninth House because obviously this has a school setting. I think it's set in Harvard or Yale? Yale. Am I saying that weird? Yale. Why does it sound so weird? Yale. 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 So I'm now going to use a random Sims trait generator to see what books we have got for this month. Now if you want to know where I get this generator, it is linked in the description below, as are all of the prompts, just in case you want to have a look at it. Okay, so we'll just set up our screen record and hit generate, and hopefully we're going to get some good prompts. Okay. Oh, I'm nervous. Right, okay. So the prompts that we've got are family oriented, jealous, ambitious, and I'm gonna have to check this one because I can't remember what it is. Okay, so I think this one is muser. Okay, so we have got family oriented, jealous, ambitious, and muser. I do not remember what any of these are, so I'm just gonna go check and then we will go through them. Okay guys, so I have got my books ready and it is looking like a pretty good TBR. I'm happy, I'm really happy. So the first trait that came up was family oriented, and the book that I have to go along with this prompt, this trait, whatever it's called, I have been dying to read this for ages and I don't know why I haven't read it. I look at my shelves and think I want to read that book, and then I pick up something different. So I am super hyped to be reading The Orphanage of the Gods. Now this is a book that came in an Illumicrate box in like, I want to say like February, maybe March. I will put exactly when it was, but yeah, this was a book that came in an Illumicrate box. I've been so hyped to read this. I think it's going to be so good, but I just haven't got around to it yet. So the reason that I picked this book to go along with the family oriented trait is because it contains sisters. So this follows a girl called Hero whose sister has been captured. Now, Hero and her sister live in a world which was previously run by gods, but the gods were defeated by us everyday mortals and only their children remain. Now, the children are kept in orphanages, and if they display any godlike powers, they are taken away and never seen from again. But 17-year-old Hero has finally escaped. Sadly though, her sister has been caught and returned to the orphanage. Hero is desperate to save her sister, but the few remaining gods may have other plans for her. Yeah, this is one of my 5-star predictions. I love things that are about gods. I'm really into Greek mythology and Roman mythology and Norse mythology and yeah, mythology in general, and I feel like this has got mythological vibes. It also comes across like it's going to be quite dark, which is my thing. So yeah, this one I am super excited for. So the next prompt that came up was jealous. And for this, I picked A Curse So Dark and Lonely. The reason I picked this to go with this prompt is because this is a retelling, so it's kind of like jealous of the original story. This is a Beauty and the Beast retelling, and Beauty and the Beast is one of my favourite books ever. Like the story of Beauty and the Beast, the films, the books, any merch that goes alongside it, I love. But I have not read this book yet. A Curse So Dark and Lonely, and this is the gorgeous Fairy Loot edition. A Curse So Dark and Lonely is not a book that I would have thought I would like. I'm not a huge fan of retellings, and it just didn't appeal to me. And I read the first 2 chapters and I absolutely loved it, and then in typical Beth fashion I put it down and didn't pick it up again. So I'm really excited to finally be getting around to this. So A Curse So Dark and Lonely tells the story of Harper, who is I'm going to say 17. It doesn't say how old she is, but I'm going to say she's 17. 17-year-old girl with cerebral palsy who has quite a hard life. Now, someone in her family, I'm going to say her dad, is involved in crime, and Harper is kind of on that path. Her and I believe it's her brother are having to get involved in kind of the underworld to scratch a living for themselves. But then Harper is transported to a magical world. Side note, I love portal fantasy. What I've heard of this book is Harper is a really good character, and she is not happy to be suddenly thrust into this other world which has different morals and be expected to marry a prince. So yeah, I think I'm going to really enjoy this. I'm not sure if this is a 5-star prediction, but it's definitely like a 3.5/4-star prediction. So the next prompt that came up was ambitious, and for this trait I picked To Best the Boys. This is another Fairy Loot book. It seems like the majority of these books have come out of book boxes, so that is good because I never get around to reading those. The reason that I picked this to fulfill this prompt is I believe this book deals with someone who aspires to save her town, and so she has ambitions. It's very tenuous, but yeah, I was struggling. So this book is about a girl called Ren, and I believe we have a Ren in this book too. Yeah, and it's spelled the same, R-H-E-N. Interesting. Yeah, so this is about a girl called Ren and her cousin Selene, and they live in a town where women are not given the opportunity to be educated. Now, once a year there is a competition for boys from the town to compete in this maze we see on the front cover, to win a place at this prestigious school. The town is also afflicted by some strange disease that is killing everybody. So Ren and her cousin decide that they are going to compete in the maze to win a place at the school so that they can save their town. Now this is weirdly another book that I have read the first chapter of and then put down and not continued, and I did really enjoy the first couple of chapters. Now again, this is not a 5-star prediction for me. I think I will really enjoy it. I really like games, books that have themes of games and magic. I think this has some like ghosty stuff in it. So yeah, this is another one that I think I am going to really enjoy. And our final trait was Muser. Now, this book I would have never picked up, and I probably would have unhauled in my next unhaul. And that is Station 11. Now, to be completely frank with you, I bought this book because I had never seen a hardback cover like this, and it was like £2. So it's like £2 from this shop that just sells random stuff, like a cheap homeware garden type shop. It's called QD. They just have this big box of books, and it's usually like Regency romance and women's fiction. And this was in there, and I thought, oh, this cover is so pretty. I recognise this name. I'm gonna get it. And I got it, I brought it home, and I was just like, I'm not interested in what this book is about. It doesn't inspire me at all. But I was really intrigued by this cover because I'd never seen it before. This is actually a first edition of this book, and I believe it is like quite limited. They didn't run that many of these. So it was a pretty good find, and it's stunning, not just this cover, but it is bright, and I don't know if this is going to come up on the camera, but it is fluorescent pink inside, and it also has like a really cute spine with a little picture of that deer on the spine. So yeah, there's the backstory about this book. So the reason I selected this to go alongside the Muser trait is because it follows a group of musicians and actors who are travelling through a post-apocalyptic world. So Station 11 is told in two timelines, one prior to the outbreak of something called the Georgian flu, which killed 99% of people, and the other is set 20 years in the future and shows how society has recovered from this event. However, there is now a new threat looming. I enjoy sci-fi. I don't read a huge amount of it, but I definitely enjoy it. So I'm not sure why I don't have a huge interest in this book. I just don't. I do know that this has really good reviews. I know that Books with Lala really likes this book. So hopefully I will too. I'm also hoping to take part in Buzzwordathon this month, and this has obviously got the word 11 in the title, so it can be used for Buzzwordathon. Another book that I may be reading this month is Skyward by Brandon Sanderson. I think this is going to be our buddy read for November. We have not yet decided. We also have The Queen of Nothing and The Starless Sea being released this month, so I may also pick those up as well, although I'm not promising anything. And I'll probably pick up a few romances. But these are the 4 books that I will definitely be reading this month. So Orphanage of the Gods, A Curse So Dark and Lonely, Station 11 and To Best the Boys. If you want to know how I did last month, you can obviously check out my wrap up, which will be coming shortly. So hopefully you liked this video. If you did, please let me know. Give me a thumbs up or a comment. Let me know what I could do better in future TBRs or anything that you would like to see in them. But until next time, bye!